Welcome to RPA learning session. In this session, you are going to learn why robotic process automation is pretty much relevant in today's context. So let's get started. In this session, you will learn what are the typical enterprise challenges that business leaders are facing today, and what are the typical their service delivery challenges and gaps in terms of digital transformation. And then you will learn what are the different selling points and where RPA fill the gaps. So let's get started. So think about a moment. In today's context, in today's digital transformation context, there are many digitally born startups company whose aging is just 5 to 10 years old and giving a very tough competition to large scale enterprises. Those young startups are using the latest technology, the mobile, cloud, artificial intelligence, and their systems are pretty young and very disruptive, that's delivering the exceptional customer experience. At the other side, the large enterprises, those are 100 years, 200 years old, and those systems are pretty legacy, monolithic, and it's large scale systems, but those systems cannot be replaced because that has become the mind and it has become the core systems into the enterprise. And last but not the least, the change management is pretty complex into those large organizations. So what happens? Legacy, old systems, employees are pretty much used to all the systems. The change management is pretty slow. So delivering the value to the customers becomes difficult, and it delays actually. So there is a direct fight and competition between the digitally born startups and the large enterprise. And the problem here that large enterprise wanted to stay relevant and competitive and create competitive advantage for their customers. How to do that? That's where RPA comes into picture. So let's understand in a better way. Today what we talked about, into any large enterprise there are lot of process automation tool exist into the enterprise. And if I talk about those processes, SAP, Salesforce, mainframe, custom development developed the applications on .NET, Java, Python, Fortran, COBOL, BI, business intelligence and data warehousing, service now. There could be many more. We can count, it will go to endless. But now the fundamental question comes here. Though enterprise has all the process automation tools in place, number two, that almost all the processes are being automated, and number three, the millions or billions of dollars has been invested to automate all these processes, then why today there is too much of talk about robotic process automation, and CIOs and business leaders are pretty much excited about adopting this technology to drive their business transformation. So let's understand what happens. Even though, let's understand the region where RPA filled the gap. Even though this system exists into the enterprise, there are a lot of paper based transaction happens, lot of manual intervention happens into the organization that create delays. Almost many systems are broken IT system that require the human intervention. Systems are legacy, it cannot transact the data between multiple systems, this required human intervention. Business exceptions, there are many business exceptions, those are thrown from the either any of the business application like SAP or CRM that is being solved by the human beings. And last but not the least, in any organization 80% of the data is unstructured data, and wherever you see unstructured data, this required human to take the cognitive judgment. If you look at around all these five area, this all required the human intervention. Once again I'm emphasizing, this all required the human intervention, and wherever there is a human intervention, this ultimately delay the value delivery to the customer that we need to eliminate. Let's move forward. These all gaps leads to data entry. It's a human intervention. Hopping across the multiple systems. If you take example of employee onboarding, there are minimum 10 systems involved and there are many people who are completing the transaction. Verification, validation and comparison of the data, this is the one of the stuff that keep happening across the enterprise. Decision making, whether it's a rule based or judgmental. And last but not the least, email has become the core business communication tool into the business enterprise, because many of the systems are not connected and this required a very effective communication, and email plays a very vital role over there. So what happens? Let's imagine a situation. You have your business operation. You wanted to scale 2x, 3x, 5x, and as of today, you have the human workforce. If you really scale with the human workforce, that will lead to many issues, side effect. It could be high cost, it could be high quality issue, it could be delays that will hit your customer experience, or it will create a lot of compliance issues that will lead to revenue loss, and last but not the least, training, retraining, HR cost. There would be many additional cost if you are really scaling with the human workforce. Then what is the solution? We need to look for a very innovative solution. Where we want to do, if really enterprises are looking to disrupt their existing business processes to deliver the value, they have only two choices. Either could be disruptive, long-term plan, very expensive digital transformation initiative, or they can look for any technology that is non-invasive, non-disruptive, rapid deployment platform, economical, cheap, where the business leaders can gain the ROI quickly. I can deploy and deliver the value fast. That is the choice in front of the business leader. Of course, it should be both the choice, but being the business leader, preferably I look for non-invasive, rapid deployment, economical model to deliver the value fast without doing a lot of upfront investigation. So once again, though we have seen this slide, but I would request you to look for an innovative way to solve the old problem that will deliver the value fast. So ladies and gentlemen, this is called complete workforce, having a very wonderful collaboration between the human workforce and digital workforce. That's where your RPA comes into picture. I know you are learning a lot of things, but don't forget to complete your exercise. Thank you very much for watching.